Table saw safety. The table saw is one of the most versatile tools in the shop. It can be used to rip. We can use the miter gauge to cross cut. We can cut dados or grooves and rabbets. Even bevels and chamfers. To use a table saw, we need one flat face and one straight edge. The straight edge will go up against the rip fence. Make sure the blade is 1/8 to 1/4 of an inch above the surface of the board. To rip, stand on the left side of the saw line. Push the board through with your right hand. If you stand to the right of the saw line, the tendency is to pull away from the fence and cause a kickback. Maintain a 4-inch safety clearance. If it's below 4 inches, use a push stick. Push the board all the way through the cut. Always have someone help you. Their job is to catch the board. They do not pull the board through the cut. To cross cut, hold the board tight to the miter gauge, keep your shoulders square, and push all the way through the cut. Never use both the rip fence and the miter gauge together. If you do, it can bind up and kick back. Instead, use a stop block, measure out your cut, and pull the stop block. The only time the rip fence and miter gauge can be used together is when cutting rabbets or dados. Never freehand cut. Always use either the miter gauge or the rip fence. Let's review table saw safety. Maintain a 4-inch safety clearance. Use the miter gauge or the rip fence. Never use both together unless cutting dados or rabbets. Never freehand cut. Stand to the left of the saw line. Use a push stick when necessary. The person helping should not pull the board. Set the blade 1/8 of an inch to 1/4 of an inch above the surface of the board. And you must have one flat face and one straight edge. Let's take a test.